Hey, welcome to another episode of The Call Sheet. I'm Gabrielle Simone, and today on The Call Sheet, we have Brittany Passion. Hey. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, Queen.
Yes, I'm so excited about this conversation.
Yes, well, look, let's get into
Okay,
it.
so Brittany, you're an actress.
Yes, ma'am.
You're also a casting director. So you do that. You're also a host.
Yes.
So you have your hands in a little bit of everything.
I do. I do.
So let's start with the acting component.
Okay.
What got you into acting or wanting to be an actress? Was it something that chose you, or did you choose it?
I would say it's a combination of both, honestly. Acting for me or entertaining for me, period, since I was little, was always an outlet for me. I love talking to people. I'm just a naturally curious person. Like, I want to know everything about you and why, which is hence the reason I went to school for psychology. But that's another conversation for another day. But I just naturally gravitated towards entertaining and empowering. And so when I was younger, my mom would have me in like local plays and different things like that from middle school, high school, college. But I would kind of say acting chose me and it saved me a little bit too, because it kept me out of a lot. Kept me out of a lot. Like, one day I'm gonna write a book, but two, I would say I didn't really know where to start. Outside of like local plays and theater, didn't really know where to start. And so I started off.
Did you start?
I started off modeling.
Okay.
Modeling. I was a video vixen, y'all.
Here in Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay.
I started modeling. I'm from Ohio, but I started modeling, and I would drive from Nashville, actually.
Okay.
To Atlanta.
When you went to school?
Yep.
Okay.
I went to school. So I would drive from Nashville, y'all, to Atlanta to do these music videos. But modeling kind of blew up before I was ready for it. And I figured I don't really know where to go with acting, but maybe modeling is a stepping stone into it, And so did that route. It blew up. I was in a lot of magazines, brand ambassador deals. A lot was happening for me on the modeling thing. But one thing I did do was when I came to Atlanta, I networked. I met so many people through modeling that it kind of was like a segue into acting. And I met people who were acting. And so at the time, I was working as a case manager with foster care kids.
And that's from your psychology background?
From my psychology background. And I was sitting at work, and I'm like, I need to be doing more. I want to be doing more. I was happy where I was, but I just felt like acting was tugging on me. And I would see casting calls, but I'm like, I don't got headshots. I don't have a portfolio. Maybe not. And so surprisingly enough, I think it was either Fatal Attraction or Snapped. Somehow I came across the casting call, girls submitted, and they hit me back. They sent me an email back, and I'm like, no way.
Okay.
No way. They're like, we want you to audition for this. You got to act like you lip syncing. I'm like, girl, I did this whole video in the bathroom with a remote in my hand, acting like I was for the audition, and they hired me. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to do this. I'm about to really like jump in this full force. Really no resources, no mentors, not knowing what to do. I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
So then I ended up quitting my job, and hey, here I am now, girl. Yes, and I act full time now.
I love that.
Yeah.
So when you say you just go for it, you just jumped out there, no resources. So was it just trial and error?
Yes, a lot of acting is, I mean, as you know, it's a lot of trial and error, period. Right. It's a lot of no's, it's a lot of rejection. And for me, it was a lot of times where I was sitting there like, why am I doing this? Why did I sign up for this? Or why did this choose me? You know, like, don't nobody want to be told no. Who likes rejection? It's
hundreds of times.
Okay. Yeah. But definitely a lot of trial and error. And when I first moved to Atlanta, I started off as an extra. And then slowly but surely, I'm not even going to say slowly, really fast, actually, I started doing stand-in work and doing feature work because of my modeling experience.
Right.
And so from there, I knew that I wanted to be in front of the camera. Okay. You know, I knew it was main character energy. So I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get to the next step? So just trial and error. But being on set as an extra, I was able to talk to other people who was also in the same boat and people who were a little further along than I was too. Right. So I was able to network and learn and be like, oh, I need to do this. I need to get in some classes. I need to get some headshots. I need to really study my craft.
Right.
You know, and so I literally, everything people was telling me, I'm taking notes on my phone, like, okay, do this, because I'm such a, like,
yeah,
I'm not really type A, but I'm like, listen, by the book, like, okay, listen, tell me what I need to do. Take me to the water, and I'm going to drink, and I'm going to keep drinking, I'm going to run it up. You just got to give me the blueprint, and I'm going to go.
So, where did you start training? Like, what was some of your first acting classes?
Some of my first acting classes, I trained with the Actors Gym. Shout out to Tom Scott here in Atlanta. I did take some acting classes in Nashville as well before I transitioned to Atlanta.
Okay.
I did a lot of workshops with, like, the Booking Room. Who else when I first started? Ooh, girl, it was so long ago. It was so long ago. I'm trying to think.
But those classes help set you up.
Yeah, they helped set me up. Yeah. I took a workshop with Terry J. Vine as well. Okay. But they helped.
I took a workshop. She used to have a, what was the name of that studio? The Green Room?
What's the Green Room?
Was it the Green Room when she was in
I don't
Buckhead?
remember. Yes, okay. But I took classes with her.
Her classes were really good.
It's like if this is what you want to do, you have to put your all into it, and it's a lot. I mean, people don't understand. Acting is like being an athlete. You got to study, you got to train, and it's not for me. Like, it's not just about being famous or looking cute. You know, I tell people all the time, like, listen, this is a lot of hard work. Okay, and I know it looks good, the final product, but y'all don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears, the long nights, the lost friendships, the failed relationships, the anxiety, the stress, depressed. Y'all don't see none of that. Okay, so it's a lot. So it was a lot of trial and error.
Let's speak to the friendships. Do you have a circle of friends that are in the industry and then a different circle that are outside of the industry?
Yes, I do. So I have, which is crazy because most of my friends are in the industry, but in different capacities. Like, my best friend, she's in radio.
Okay.
Yes. Shout out to Gigi at Streets 94.5 doing her thing. But so I have friends, but they're in their own industries, respectively. Correct. Okay. But then I have, like, college friends that are like nurses and doctors and different things like that. But my friends that I talk to every day, we're all in our own industries. So it's hard. You know, we got to pick those days where we trying to link up because we're just so busy.
Right.
We're busy and grinding.
Yeah. And then the hours. And then the hours. Radio hours are different from television.
Set hours,
from
Yes, but I do have a tribe of friends that we hang out, but if somebody needs an audition done or we need some feedback or just to say, hey, let's go get a drink. Let's go relax, release, recharge, and decompress, because you need those friends in the industry that will help you decompress. And outside the industry too, you need those friends that can help you just recharge and get back to you, because sometimes it's a lot. It takes a toll on you.
It does. Yeah. Especially what I've been hearing lately is that the industry in itself is a little slow right now.
It's very slow.
There's no, well, I don't want to say there's no, but there's few projects that are being produced and you know, actually coming to fruition. Yeah. So in the lulls or in the downtimes, what do you do to stay creative and stay inspired?
So for me, during the downtimes, to stay creative and stay inspired, well, first, I'm big on self-care, right? So when I got some downtime, I'm taking that downtime, whether I'm going to the creek, taking a walk, getting a massage, or just catching up on some of my favorite shows. I rarely get to watch TV because I'm so busy and always working. Catching up on my favorite shows, spending time with loved ones. But too, in order to stay creative, I cast. Okay. So I cast as well. Yeah. So I might reach out to the people to see what independent projects they're working, to see how I can, be of service to them. Right. I also, I read different like scripts.
Okay.
Just to see. Sometimes I even go back and watch my movies, and I used to hate watching myself. I be at premieres like this, like I don't know. It's a weird thing, y'all.
A lot of actors say that though.
Yes,
they don't like to see themselves.
I don't, but in order to get better, I had to. So sometimes during my downtime, I'll just rewatch my projects.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, you know, I can actually take it in and show that gratitude. Like, Brittany, you did that. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, I could have did that better, or that's something I need to work on. But just really taking it in, because when you're always on the go, sometimes it's hard to, you don't have that time.
And
evaluate and really just appreciate it. And two, just talking to people. Talking to people like, hey, and we just talk acting. It's weird. It's like we got our own like weird language that other people don't understand, and we get so excited. And people like, what are they talking about?
Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for watching The Call Sheet. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and leave your comment. What's the best part of this episode that you like? Be sure to follow us on Fanbase, on Facebook, and on Instagram at The Call Sheet Podcast. We'll be putting up some behind the scenes clips and telling you what's coming up next. If you have any questions around the acting industry here in Atlanta, feel free to email me at thecallsheetpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, back to the episode. Talk about your career as a casting director. So how did you get into that?
So me getting into casting, well, first, before I answer the question, I do want to say it was hard for me to even say that I'm a casting director, right? Like, it took me so long to even say, like, I'm a casting director. This is what I do. This is my passion. Only because it's almost taboo, right? People try to box me in or say that, you know, it's a conflict of interest.
Right.
Or do you always put yourself in the projects you cast? Right. And so I got a lot, not backlash, but just a lot of raised eyebrows and questions like, so you a casting director and you act? Because most of the time it's like it's a director and an actor, a writer and an actor, producer. But a casting director and an actor? But I'm like, y'all can't box me in. I didn't come in a box, and even though you kind of go out in the box, I'm not going out in the box. So when you're multifaceted in this industry, sometimes it's difficult, right? You know, but for me, I love casting. I love being behind the scenes just as much as I love acting. Right. I love being able to help other people follow their dreams, dreams that they didn't even think that they could see it through, right? I like taking the underdog, new faces, people who are just starting and helping them elevate. And so getting into casting, I started off, I have my own company called The Passion Experience. Okay. And so it started off as a modeling agency. Okay. But not even an agency, I was a manager. I managed models.
So you had a model. Okay.
So I modeled, and because I didn't have those resources and those mentors to really teach me the game, I ended up starting learning all I could and starting my own. So I managed models. Okay. And then from there, I would get them work as extras and, you know, different modeling gigs. Right. And then I was like, okay, I'm actually good at this. Right. Okay, let's see what this is working with. Yeah. And so when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, I want to get into TV and film.
So what year did you move down
to Atlanta? I moved to Atlanta, end of 18, beginning of 19. Okay.
So not too long ago.
Not too long ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, and so once I got here, I was like, I want to learn the TV and film side. Okay. Because I knew eventually I want to have my own agency, one-stop shop. Okay. And so, like I said, from doing extra work, meeting and networking, I'm like, I want to do casting. I met a casting director who was also my mentor and my brother. Shout out to Clyde. Okay. Reached out to him, and I had told this story on another podcast. Reached out to him, and he was like, no, you an actor. He's like, it's a conflict of interest. You an actor. How you gonna cast? You know, you ain't gonna put my business first. I'm like, yes, I am. Like, I want to learn. And he told me no multiple times. But then finally he was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna teach you the game. Okay. But if I teach you this, you gonna have to do your thing. You gonna have to run it up. So I'm like, say less. All you gotta do is show me. And from there, it's went up. And he's even put me on outside projects. Oh, good. Independent projects that he didn't want to take or wasn't able to take. And I've just been going, and then word of mouth, people passing on my name, the power of networking. Like, hey, I know an up-and-coming casting director. Right. And so, I can't say I'm up-and-coming anymore. I mean, I done won awards for my agency, and I've cast some of the top projects here in Atlanta as well, but that's how I got started. I just put myself out there and was like, this is what I want to do, and even when I was told no, I kept going.
Right.
Even when people try to box me in, I just kept going. Like, I'm about to show y'all I can cast and I can act.
I love that.
And guess what? And I'm gonna put you in the project too, just because. No, not just because, but.
So, as from the casting director lens, when you see actors, what are just like 2 things that they need to know when submitting, like as far as the submission process? What do they need to know?
One tip I would give to actors, upcoming and kind of already, well, I'm not going to say already established, but still working. So working actors as well as new upcoming actors is follow directions. And I know that seems so simple.
No, I'm a high school teacher.
I know it seems so simple. But
follow directions.
Casting, we will list everything that you need to do and how you need to do it from the top to the bottom.
Okay.
Whether that's labeling your audition tape, put it in the slate at the end, do a head-to-toe slate, whatever the instructions are. You'll be surprised how many submissions get discarded just because they didn't follow directions to the T. And me, I'm not a stickler so much. But I know a lot of other casting directors that are. And it's like,
because it translates to on set. Because on set, are you going to follow directions?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
and it's like, you have to be, that's just one step. We're looking at so many audition tapes. If I have 2,000 people that submitted for this commercial, right, and I have to turn in, let's say I have to turn in about the top 20. I have to go from 2,000 to 20.
Yeah.
And you start to look for things like, okay, well, this person didn't follow directions, or their label says movie 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, who is this?
Right.
I gotta take time out of my day from watching 2,000 videos to rename it. Now, sometimes I will, just because that's just who I am. But when you're working, you have multiple projects, it's, no, you can't keep doing that. And then
follow directions.
Yes, follow directions. Okay. And then another tip I would give to actors for the submission process is really just be you. Have fun, be you, be authentic. A lot of times I think people want to please casting. So they do it the way they think we want. And it ends up turning out to look like everybody else's. Okay. So then it's like I'm literally watching the same tape said the same way because they're like, okay, this is a young single mom, so let me be stressed the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And then it's like, casting, because it's a young single mom. And so I'm going to be stressed the whole time, and casting is going to love it because I think this is what they want.
Yeah.
And we just want
playing it the way you want to play it.
Just have fun. Just be you. Be authentic. Be truthful. And that'll come across. We all have different quirks and nuances about ourselves that casting, we can see those things, right?
Right.
And so I like to see those things, like, oh, this person did this, or this person did this, or when they were talking to their son, they reached down and kissed their forehead. Nobody else, just little things like that. Yeah, so I would say follow the instructions, and then 2, be you, be authentic, and be truthful. Don't try to please casting. Just have fun with it. Do your thing.
Okay. So for people who want to maybe get into being a casting director, like what would be your advice to them?
Oh, that is a hard question. For anybody that wants to be a casting director, I would say, truthfully, reach out to casting directors, see if they need an intern, see if they need assistance with anything, because I'm not sure if you can go to school to be a casting director. I don't know if it's like a casting director's handbook. You know what? I might have to team up with my casting director friends in Atlanta. We might have to come up with something. Yeah. But it's like, it's no
like outline.
It's no outline at all to be a casting director. So for me, my advice would be reach out. That's what I did. I reached out. But when you reach out from the place of how can I be of service and how can I be a student? Because it takes time. Like, I didn't come in, even though I had my own agency already, I didn't come in thinking I knew everything, because there was so much that I still needed to learn. But definitely reach out and say, hey, how can I be of service? Do you need some assistance? Are you looking for an intern? Are you hiring? Because truth be told, I do a lot of projects, and sometimes I need a bigger team.
Okay.
So I might need people to act as an assistant casting director. And might not have them all the time.
Right.
You know, so we definitely need that.
Okay.
Even if it's little things.
Right.
So that's what I would say. Reach out.
Reach out and add value.
Reach out and add value.
So with your acting career, I have to ask, what has been your best experience? If you could like rank like your top one on set or just an experience as an actor.
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say my top experience as an actress has been when I went to a film festival I want to say it's in Texas. I don't know if we were in Dallas, maybe Dallas.
Okay.
But one of the movies that I was a lead in called Butterscotch Chocolate, it is still on Tubi. It was in a film festival, so we won.
Okay.
Best Feature, and I also won Best Actress. And that moment for me was super, super exhilarating because when I did that project, I doubted myself so much.
What made you doubt yourself? Like going in, you doubted yourself, or
no,
when you were on set?
Not going in, but on set, I'm like, ooh, am I really going to be able to do this and pull it off? One, because it was very emotional. Okay. Very emotional. I played a bipolar, sex-addicted lawyer.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of layers.
A lot of layers. And so while I was filming that project, a lot came up for me personally. And it took a lot for me to get in it, but even more to come out.
Okay.
To come out. She that character, I love her. She was a lot. And so there were times it was hard. I was going through a lot personally in life at the same time. And so I just wasn't sure. You know, and so seeing myself on the screen at the film festival and people asking me questions, and then knowing that we won, I think we also won Best Soundtrack. So I was like, wow, okay, so I guess I could say I'm award winning, you know. But it was definitely a moment in my acting career where I was like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. You know, I see what you're doing. Just to see the people that we touched and then the conversations around mental health. Especially mental health with Black women and mental health and how we don't speak on it as much. Now we are, but we filmed that 3 years ago, I think. And so just that conversation piece.
Right.
And it was a few people in the crowd who were dealing with it. Right. Even the director herself deals with bipolar. So it was, it was a lot. It touched a lot of people. But I would say that was a time. That was one time.
That's a great experience.
Yes.
So with relationships, is it hard to date and be who you are and who you're becoming? Is it hard to find, the right partner?
So dating in the industry can be tough.
Okay.
It can be tough. For me, I've dated throughout the process. I've been single throughout the process. Coming into it when I first started saying I'm an actress, because shortly I would be like, oh, I'm aspiring. I'm like, nah, I'm an actress.
Right.
You know, I'm an actress. And so coming into it, I was in a relationship and there was no support. And that was hard, especially because I was driving back and forth from Nashville to Atlanta trying to follow this dream and this vision that nobody could see but me.
Right.
And so I ended up leaving the relationship. Okay. I mean, it was a lot of other stuff, but I ended up leaving the relationship. So then I came to Atlanta. Like, I am laser focused, tunnel vision. Yeah. I'm like, all work, no play.
Right.
And so that got old after a little while.
Yeah.
And so what I learned is, and I speak about this a lot, communication is key.
Right.
You have to communicate, especially when you're trying to date, because it's just like being with a rapper, a model, an athlete, anybody that's in an unusual field, right? That takes a different toll on them. And so you have to be able to communicate. My job or my goal, I felt, was to always make that other person that I'm dating or I'm in a relationship with feel comfortable. Okay. You might not agree 100% with everything, but make you feel comfortable and help you understand. like, this is my job. This
Right.
is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Dwayne Wade ain't worried about Gabrielle Union kissing Morris Chestnut. So why you worry about me? No, I'm just, but I used to say that all the time.
True,
Like, why you
true,
worry about
true.
me kissing this? Like, it's a part of the job.
Right.
And I'm going to do my job well.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my job is done and everything says cut, I'm coming back home to you.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done. But you have to communicate, and you have to find people who one, support you, two, understand. Because I've dated in the industry and I've dated out the industry.
Yeah.
And it wasn't much of a difference, surprisingly. Like, a little slight different. You know, it's a slight difference. In the industry, they understand a little bit more. But
because the long hours, the odd schedules.
Long hours, and then
the travel that comes with it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then, too, when I'm focused in it, when I'm in it, I'm in it. So then, too, just having them understand, like, hey, this character took a lot on me. So when I come home, I might be another person. So you might have to wheel me back in, you know, help me out a little bit. But it could take a toll on somebody, and it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. But for me, I know I'm not giving up. So, however, I'm willing to make you feel comfortable. I'm willing to compromise and see where we can meet in the middle.
Right.
Because I already said, once I get married, y'all not going to be seeing me do no more love scenes, okay? Okay.
Really?
Sparingly.
I was like, it's the right role.
I mean, because I get booked to be the lead a lot. And so it requires a little more.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to do as much.
Okay.
But if it's, if it's Michael B. Jordan or somebody, then, baby, what my husband is, baby, I don't know.
He'll
you might have to just let me
He'll
go ahead and go to LA and do my thing. And I'll be right back to you. But yeah.
So your future aspirations as far as your career, what do you look to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years?
Ooh, what do I look to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years? So casting side, I do want to have the #1 casting agency / resource hub in the Southeast.
Okay.
So I'm working towards that. I also will help. I'm dropping an ebook for new actors. I'm dropping an ebook within the next month. I've been working on it for a while, and I should have been dropped it. But so I hope to have at least maybe like 5 ebooks out.
Okay.
Acting wise, I've done a lot in the indie film realm. I would like to say, my name rings bells in the indie film realm. I have over 10 to 15 movies or series on Tubi, Amazon, Peacock, and I have a lot more coming out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, from last year, and then projects I did this year. Yeah, I'm busy. So the indie realm, Brittany Passion doing her thing in the indie realm, but I'm ready. So I think in the next 3 to 5 years, like, it's time for me to be a series regular on a mainstream project or have a supporting or lead role in a feature, big movie production. I do have an agent. I've had auditions for a lot of major projects, gotten callbacks. I've done Tyler Perry's All the Queen's Men, and I have Sisters dropping that I haven't said to anyone, but I had a day player role on Sisters season 8 that'll be coming out. But yeah, just doing more on a bigger scale.
Okay.
What I've been learning this year alone is like, Brittany, stop dimming your light.
Right.
Girl, I've been sleeping on myself, y'all, and I realized like a few months ago, it's time to wake up. It's time for me to wake me up and to wake y'all up, because I'm really dope and I pour so much into everybody else in their careers. But I'm like, it's time that I equally give that back to myself and stop playing small. Yeah. And really like, okay, Brittany, you helping everybody else, do that for you too.
Right.
And then the higher I elevate, the more I can bring everybody else up with me.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how can actors, can they submit to your agency? Can they have like their profile like in your network?
Yeah, so
how
any
can that work?
Actors, no matter what level you're on, if you want to work with me, you want to get cast by me, I have a website, www.thepassionexperience.com, and that's experience with an X. And then I also have Instagram at The Passion Experience. I have a database that you can sign up for. So when you're a part of the database, if you're looking to do extra work, then I book you for extra work. If you're looking for indie projects, whatever you're looking for, I send you those castings. But I also post all castings, every single casting on my Instagram story every single day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every single day. So make sure you follow my business page because I'm forever casting. Whether I'm casting a project or it's other casting directors in Atlanta that I know, my casting director friends. I post and repost everybody's things. And it's different levels of casting. For beginning, and then there's some bigger projects, there's some commercials, music videos. I post everything because I have a wide variety of audience that follows me in terms of casting. And so make sure y'all follow me. And one thing I will say too, I was going to say support. A lot of people are like, they hit a plateau or they feel stuck or they don't know where to start. But I would tell to support because if it's a casting director you want to work with, a writer, a director, a producer, support. It's easy to like their stuff, repost their flyers when they have movies coming out, go to their workshops, go to their movie premieres.
Go to
introduce yourself. I'm telling you, like, networking and being in the room and showing support will go a lot further than anything else, especially for me. Like, if you support me, you come out, you introduce yourself, I remember. I remember names, I remember faces. And so I would just definitely say support the people that you want to be your colleagues or that you want to work with.
Yeah, because that's actually how I met you at Actors Link Up.
Yes.
Shout
out to Actors Link Up. Jason and Corwin, my brothers.
Yeah, they always put on the good.
I met Jason and Corwin as when I was doing extra work. Like, I met Jason. I was standing in, and I met Corwin, I think, on the set of P-Valley. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's how I met you, just like being in the room, just getting to know people and what they do. And like, I've been following you, and I'm like, oh, she's, busy.
Listen,
I love it. I love
you.
it that you stay busy. Like, you're inspiring me to, like, get back out there.
You got to. And it's okay. I've been taking breaks now because I was so busy to the point where I was, like, neglecting my health and, like, had some health stuff going on. And then family. And I'm super family oriented. And so I had to learn how to balance it. I'm like, it's okay to be busy and booked and busy and getting money and grinding. But I was like, too, I still got to have self-care and still have time to rest. So now I have that balance where and I'm like, I could say no. It's okay to say no.
Yeah. Well, good. Okay, so I want you to leave us with, I have two things. First of all, what's your industry hot take? What is something, like, about the industry that just, like, bugs you, or just something that needs to be said? What needs to be said?
Something that needs to be said. Ooh, okay. One thing I will say, something that needs to be said in the industry is everybody tries to play Atlanta, okay? Everybody tries to play the ATL. They feel like Atlanta actors are not as serious. We're not as professionally trained. We the bottom of the bedroom. But no, baby, let me tell you, ATL is where it's at.
Yeah,
ATL is the city of the dreams. It's the Black Hollywood. I would not advise everybody to move here all at once anymore. I would not. But it needs to be said, like, we are just as dope, talented, professional as LA or New York. If not better.
Right.
And so a lot of productions are coming here to film. But they'll come here to film, but then they'll cast the LA actor. Which is cool. No shade, no tea. I got some friends that's in LA. Shout out to y'all. I'll be there soon one day maybe. But Atlanta is where it's at. And one thing about it is we a family.
That's very true.
Atlanta's a family. It's people here that will help you, that will look out, and, like, goes back to that networking. Like, y'all need to stop hating on Atlanta, okay, baby? Because we were set.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I got to say.
Atlanta is family. Like, you can go out, you can tell people what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Just the same with my podcast. I just started reaching out to people, and they're like, set it up.
It's a family. I mean, I know everybody here think they celebrities, but we really a family. So stop hating on Atlanta actors, because I have a lot of Atlanta actor friends that are doing the damn thing, and I see them on everything, okay? Everything. And that's about to be me in the next year.
I love it. Okay, and then lastly, will you leave us just with some words of wisdom for the actor who is either aspiring or the actor that's just, like, in a down spot?
So anybody that is an aspiring actor or actress, or you're in a down spot, What I will say to you right now is keep it going. Keep it going. Because the moment you give up, that might be your time. That might be your time. Definitely take time for yourself and rest because life do be lifing.
No, it does. Every day, all day. Ooh, Lord.
Life be lifing. But as I say, you know, y'all see the memes, God be guiding too. Mm-hmm. So definitely keep it going because you never know who you're inspiring by your story. Everybody has to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. I started off as an extra. She started off as an extra. I have friends that started off as an extra, and y'all see what we doing now. So keep it going because you never know who needs your story. And it's okay. If you need to take a break, if you need to take a month, 2 months, if you need to take a year, that's fine. Just find something creative to still be able to tap into because you never know who needs your story. You never know who is watching your journey and needs that inspiration to keep going. And then another thing I would say is my favorite quote, direction is more important than speed. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going. Long as it's in your purpose, it's in your calling, and you're aligned, it don't matter. Like, a lot of people are going nowhere fast, so it's okay. It's your journey. Go at your own pace. Whether you act a little bit or a lot. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say a little bit. Like, if you're trying to make this a career, then you need to put in the work. Mm-hmm. But it's okay. It's okay to slow down sometimes because direction is way more important than speed. So
I love it.
You got it. Y'all got this. Don't give up.
Thank you, Brittany. This was an amazing conversation. So just tell everybody real quickly how they can follow you and connect with you, and then I'll leave you off with that.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Brittany Passion. No talk, all action. And I am here on the Call Sheet podcast. And y'all can follow me on Instagram at Brittany Passion, BRITTANY_passion. And my business page, The Passion Experience, THE, Passion Experience with an X. Follow me. I will follow you back. And I have a lot of dopeness coming soon. So just follow my journey. Listen, I am, like I said, this year I've told myself I'm waking up. I'm waking up. I'm done sleeping on myself. So y'all will see a lot more of acting stuff on my page as well. And really just popping my shit. Because I'm really humble. But people have been telling me to pop it. Y'all been telling me to pop it. So this year, I'm going to pop it respectfully.
Well, thank you, Brittany. And thank you all for tuning in to the Call Sheet podcast. We'll see you all next time. Peace.